welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a full face of drugstore makeup. You know I love hitting up the drugstore, and lately it's been expensive. So I'm really excited that this video is sponsored by and in partnership with Essence Cosmetics. I absolutely love their stuff. I've been using it forever, partially because I actually like the products, but also what drew me to it initially was that low price tag. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to prime my face with the Essence Fix and Last Makeup Gripping Jelly Primer. It says it's hydrating and refreshing. It's free of silicone and alcohol. And I have to say, I've really been liking this. I just love like a jelly kind of silicone-free primer. I find that like when I first started doing my makeup, silicone primers were everywhere. And a lot of the time, not only did I feel like they were hard to work with, like depending on the foundation you put on, it might separate or pill or whatever. I just didn't really find that it did much for my skin versus the kind of jelly and grip primers that are out now. Just have this nice level of hydration that's not too much on my oily skin. It doesn't seem to interfere with foundations. But okay, I have my foundation and concealer on right now. Shout out to the discontinued Essence foundation. If you guys are watching this, and I know you are, please bring it back. Do you remember the foundation that Essence had? It was so good. Might be available outside of Canada because I know they're like a very global brand. But the finish was so nice and it wore really nicely on the skin. And I was very impressed with the shade range too, actually. So anyways, RIP to that, but we'll see if it comes back. Now I'm using something new. This actually smells very fruity. I don't know if it's supposed to. It's the Essence Baby Got Bronze, sorry. Kind of bronzer stick, very easy to use, has a bit of a cooler undertone, and this is the second shade, so there's 3 shades. And the third shade looks to go very deep. I haven't seen it in person, but this is a nice shade for me. It's very blendable, very easy to use. So for this video, I sort of picked out some of my favorites from Essence. They gave me their top 5 bestsellers, and one of them was this Brighten Up Banana Powder. This is a brand new shiny one, but I had it as well. I mean, the packaging holds up. This is the one that I actually use. This is the new one. But this is a really nice banana powder. It does look light, but there's not like so much, you know what, I'm just going to use the older one. There's not like so much pigment that it looks too light under the eyes, and I just like it on a powder puff. And I saw someone on TikTok say you should rub off the powder puff, like, so you don't have too much under your eyes. So that's what I'm going to do now. But this is a really nice powder. It's smooth, it's fine, and I think you'll see it doesn't look white or chalky under the eyes. Something else from their best sellers is the Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. So it's kind of a clear, well no, it's not kind of, it is a clear product they can use either on your lashes or on your brows. I'm going to use it on my brows today. And this stuff is $3.99. Like, glorious. So I like to brush my brows backwards a little bit, let them set, and then put them in place with like pretty much any brow gel because I have long brow hair. But what was your first Essence product? Because I remember going into a Shoppers Drug Mart one night and coming across the display and being like, what is this? I've never heard of this brand. This is 10 years ago now at this point for sure. And I think I picked up, because at the time I was using those pot gel liners, and they had this pot gel liner. I think the shade was like Midnight in Paris or something was the color. and I loved that so much. I used it nonstop, and it was probably like $3.99 or something. And I think that was where I started, and then I got into the Essence mascaras. And I recommend Essence mascaras to everybody, especially when people are using like a high-end mascara, and then they're like, what should I use? I'm like, come over to the affordable side. But before we get into mascara, I'm going to do my eyes. I have been using, I don't know if you've seen lately, this Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. It's like a universal shade. There's no color really in there. Intensifying, long lasting, no creasing, and I really like it. I definitely miss the days of like going to the drugstore and picking up like a bunch of products to try. Now it's like I'm going in to try one product, but like everything from Essence is under $15, if not pretty much mostly under 10. Everything I'm using here today, like the banana powder was $5.99, the brow gel $3.99, the mascara I'm gonna use is like $5. that's like makeup, you know, you can have some fun, play around, enjoy makeup instead of it feeling like an investment, but it's actually something that's going to be good, you know? It's not just like cheap makeup by any means. Like, this stuff is good. So now I'm going to be using their eyeshadow palettes. They've got a bunch of them. I've actually had these for a while and planned on doing like a one look for each palette video. It never happened. But surprise, surprise, I'm going to be using some of the warmer shades today. So I grabbed Bronze This Way and Coral Me Maybe. This is what they look like. So it's a nice selection of shimmers, mattes, etc. But yeah, to me, Essence is like such an OG brand. It's been in my makeup collection for a very long time. There's so many products that I love so much. The highlighter too, I'm going to be using that in a minute. I think Essence lip liners were some of the first lip liners that I ever tried as well. Because especially if you're like new to makeup and you just sort of want to play around with color, you're not sure what you might like, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Or if it's things that you need to purchase over and over again, like mascara, that can get expensive, but you also don't want to sacrifice quality. Or perhaps you only want to use cruelty-free or whatever it may be, and it's really nice to have an option that has sort of stayed that way. Like, a lot of things have changed. Thank you, Essence, for remaining solid. So I'm just sort of taking those matte brown shades. I think they look really nice on the eyes. Now I'm going to take this corally shade. Let's see how that works. Oh, that's pretty. I've used these palettes before, but not all the shades. You never know how these kind of light shades are going to pull on my skin tone. Then I'm going to take this gold on the inner corner. It's pretty. Ooh, that's a bright gold. That is pretty. Okay, but if there is one thing that I have preached about from Essence, besides from the mascaras, it's this. I love this so much. I've used many, many bottles of this. It is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. I'm telling you, I have used high-end from brands where these probably, the lash primer probably costs $50. Essence works the best. It works the best. It's the most affordable, and the formula is just the best. Like, it doesn't matter if this was the $50 formula or the $5 formula, this is the best one. So basically, if you are not a false lash wearer, or you're just looking to amp up your lashes, a lash primer sort of adds that extra base, a little more oomph. So I put it on my eyes, I let it set, and then I go in with my mascara. Today I'm using the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara, which is in the green. I love any of the Lash Princesses. The purple, the pink, they're great. The waterproof, I don't even like waterproof mascara that much. That one's really good too. So, but today we're going to be using the green one, and I really like this one. I don't know if I have a favorite Lash Princess. This is like one of their best sellers, but if I was to choose a Lash Princess, I'd say green or purple probably, but they're all great. So I've let the mascara set, or sorry, the primer set a little. And like, you don't need a primer with these mascaras. Like, the mascara works great on its own. I've used it many times on its own. But it's a nice little oomph. And I mean, the cost of this primer and this mascara together is still less than a lot of drugstore mascaras out there. So yes, you want makeup to perform and be good and whatever, but it's also fun. Like, you want to be able to play and experiment and try new things, and it's always been like a bit of a creative outlet for me. So super black, tons of volume, love it so much. Now I'm just going to do the other eye. This is a nice kind of pointy brush too, so you can sort of get in at the inner corners. Okay, onto blush. I am so excited about this because I feel like Essence has had really nice blushes for a while, but they've missed a little bit of depth sometimes. So like, I'm like, ooh, this is perfect, but I wish they had some deeper shades. They do. They have released these Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes. They have shades that go deeper than this. This is just the one that I grabbed for today because I love the kind of corally-ness that's going on to it. These aren't completely matte, but they have like no shimmer in them. They're just that like kind of great baked formula, and they're pigmented, so you only need a little bit, and then you can kind of like work your way up, but definitely super pigmented, very smooth on the skin, similar to the highlighter texture, which we're about to talk about. But I really like these, and there's like a decent amount of shades in the range too. Upwards, there's definitely more than like 6 or 7. So, and if you can't find your shade in store, you can also use the Shoppers Drug Mart website too, which is great. Get those PC Optimum points. I'm trying to think the order that everything happened in my life in terms of Essence, but This was definitely a big game changer for me. This is the Pure Nude Highlighter. I've since moved on to the Sunlighter based on my skin tone. So there's two different ones, depending on. If you have a more fair skin tone, the highlighter is probably the option for you. It has a little bit more champagne, a little bit less depth than this one. But these are so comparable to a lot of those like high-end baked highlighters that have no glitter in them, and they just look really good on the skin. I know I did a video a while back talking about what to do for highlighters when you have texture. I mean, look at these pimples that I woke up with today. And these types of highlighters are so good because they don't have chunks. They're just a lot more forgiving. And this shade is just so perfect for me. This is in the shade Be My Sunlight. So they look very similar on the packaging. Pure Nude. One says Sunlighter, one says Highlighter. Keep that in mind when you're going to purchase. But look how beautiful this is on the skin. So natural. Has just the right amount of warmth in it. It looks high-end. Look at that. And it still looks natural in person. It's not too much. Like, I know they have their top 5 bestsellers, but for me, my top 3, the Volumizing Primer, their Lash Princess mascaras, any of those are great. And then this highlighter. Those are my absolute must-haves. I can't remember exactly when I bought this lipstick, but I bought it a little while back. They had this is Nude collection. Really kind of pretty white lipsticks and a bunch of great nudie shades. So they had like light beigey shades with a little more rosy. So I'm going to use that today. They also had, oh, Essence, while I'm picking a bone with you, they also had these other matte lip colors that I love. There was an orange one. They went away too. Everything I love. This one is kind of on the more pinky rosy shade. I think it's really pretty. It's in the shade Happy. And their last bestseller are these Extreme Shine lip glosses. Essence makes a great gloss too, actually. I sort of haven't mentioned that throughout the process, but this is in the shade 01, which is their completely clear shade. It is so juicy, so wet looking, not sticky, even though I don't mind a sticky gloss, but it gives a really, really nice look on the lips. So here is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me using some of my favorite Essence products. Let me know down below what your favorite Essence products are. I kind of feel like I've tried everything, but maybe I've missed something. And as always, I will have everything that's on my face linked down below. You can check them out at Shoppers Drug Mart, of course, in store or online. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you next time. Bye!